Okay, so let's just dive right in. In the world of finance, accuracy is everything, right? It's not just a nice to have, it's the absolute foundation of everything you do. But what if I told you that chasing perfect accuracy could actually be the very thing slowing your team down?
So you really have to ask yourself this. Because while your team is busy double-checking, then triple-checking, maybe even reworking things just to be safe, you could be losing something just as valuable as accuracy: your momentum, your speed.
You know, this is one of those hidden problems that so many finance teams deal with, but it's hard to spot because it just looks like people being careful. It's this cycle where good intentions end up creating this tangle of inefficiency right below the surface.
So let's actually put a name to this thing. We're going to call it the accuracy trap. And honestly, just understanding what it is your first step to getting out of it.
And it really is this vicious cycle, isn't it? The more you chase that impossible dream of 100% perfection with manual checks, the more you get bogged down. And what suffers? Well, your speed, your efficiency, and let's be real, your team's morale probably takes a pretty big hit too.
This slide really breaks it down perfectly. It's like you've got two completely different ways of thinking here. On one side, you have pure accuracy, where the only goal is zero errors, even if it brings everything to a grinding halt. But on the other side, you've got smart accuracy. The goal is still reliable, consistent work, of course, but it's delivered with speed built right into the process. It's all about finding that balance.
All right, so why does this even happen? I mean, we're talking about smart, dedicated finance teams. How do they end up falling into this trap in the first place? Well, it usually has less to do with skill and more to do with the environment they're working in.
It really boils down to pressure, a ton of pressure. You've got this intense fear of compliance going wrong, right? The risk of actual financial losses, and of course, the danger of damaging your company's reputation. When the stakes are that high and you don't have solid processes to lean on, what do people do? They overcompensate with endless manual checks. It's totally understandable, but it's just not efficient.
Okay, let's make this real. A perfect example where this trap snapshot all the time: tax preparation. It's super high stakes and demands absolute precision. You can see the pattern so clearly here. Teams start adding extra review layers, they recheck data that's already been signed off on, and they do those little just-to-be-safe manual verifications. But what's the result? It's not better quality. It's just a bigger workload, which creates bottlenecks, slows everyone down, and just piles on the stress, especially when deadlines are looming.
And hey, this isn't just a tax season problem. This thing pops up in your everyday work too. Let's talk about something like accounts payable.
Just think about it, verifying the same invoice 2, 3, 4 times, constantly going back to recheck payment details, revisiting entries you thought were already done. This endless cycle of rechecking directly slows down payments, it creates these frustrating backlogs, and it just grinds down your team's overall productivity.
Okay, so we've looked at the nitty-gritty of individual tasks. But what happens when you zoom out? What are the real hidden costs of being stuck in this trap day after day?
And when you actually put some numbers to it, wow, it's pretty staggering. You're talking about significantly slower turnaround times, which means business decisions get delayed, higher costs because you're spending more time and more payroll on every single task. And then there's the human cost, serious team fatigue, and a business that just can't pivot or react as quickly as it needs to. It's like a hidden tax on your entire operation.
But what if it didn't have to be this way? Just imagine this for a second. Imagine a world where accuracy isn't something you have to constantly fight for, but it's just the natural outcome of a really great process. That's the dream, right? That's the goal.
So, let's get to the good part, the solution. It's all about a shift in how you think, a strategy that's all about working smarter, not just harder. Let's talk about smart accuracy.
So what does smart accuracy actually look like in the real world? Well, first off, it's an obsession with getting things right the first time, at the source. It means putting structured, standardized processes in place so you don't even need all those checks. It's about consciously cutting out those pointless reworks, and this is a big one, leveraging expert systems and teams for the stuff they do best.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. That all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually make that happen? How do you escape the trap? Don't worry, here's a clear, actionable plan to break that cycle for good.
It's a 4-step escape plan, simple but incredibly powerful. First, you identify your bottlenecks. Find out where all that overchecking is happening. Second, you improve. Shift your whole focus to getting the data right from the very beginning. Third, you standardize with clear, repeatable workflows.
And finally, number 4, you can strategically outsource those repetitive, accuracy-heavy jobs to experts who are built to handle them.
And I really want to zoom in on that last step for a minute, because outsourcing, well, that can be a total game changer here. It's often the single most powerful lever you can pull to get to smart accuracy fast.
See, when you outsource a function like accounts payable, you're not just handing off tasks, you're plugging into their entire system. You get their standardized workflows, which means fewer checks are needed. You get built-in validation that catches tiny errors before they become big problems. And the result? Faster, more reliable processing. Accuracy and speed finally become partners, not enemies.
And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Real success in today's finance world isn't about being the team that checks everything 3 times. It's about building a system and a process that helps you get it right, and get it right efficiently the very first time. So the real question is your team caught in the trap, or are you ready to start building that escape plan?